Most people think that losing muscle as you get older is just something you have to accept, like it's written in stone somewhere. After 70, your muscles go, and that's that. Well, I'm here to tell you that is simply not true. And I know because I'm 91 years old. I live in my own home. I cook my own meals. I walk to my mailbox every single morning. And a big part of why I can do that, why I've been able to stay independent this long, comes down to what I eat. Specifically, what protein I eat. Today, I'm going to share 8 proteins that the research shows are actually more effective than eggs for building and keeping muscle after 70. Some of them might surprise you. One of them you've probably had sitting in your pantry for years and had no idea how powerful it was. Stick with me, because near the end of this video, I'm going to tell you the one thing most people over 70 get completely wrong about protein. And once you know it, everything gets a lot easier. Let's get into it. Why muscle matters more than you think. Before we get to the list, I want to spend just a moment on why this matters so much. Because it's not just about looking strong or lifting heavy things. Muscle is what keeps you on your feet. When you have enough muscle in your legs, your core, your back, you catch yourself when you slip. You get up from a chair without needing to grab something. You carry your groceries in from the car. You stay in your own home, on your own terms. That's not a small thing. That's everything. Now here's what happens as we age. After about 30, our bodies slowly start losing muscle. The medical word for it is sarcopenia, and all that means is age-related muscle loss. By the time we are in our 70s and 80s, that process has been going on for decades, and it speeds up if we're not paying attention. But here is the hopeful part, and I want you to really hear this. Your muscles can still grow and rebuild at 70, at 80, even at 90. Studies have shown that. I've experienced it myself. It's not the same as when you were 40, no, but it is absolutely real and absolutely possible. 2 things drive that process: movement, even gentle movement, and protein. Today, we're talking about protein, and specifically, we're talking about the kind of protein your older body can actually use most efficiently. That last part matters, because not all protein is the same. What makes a protein good for muscle? After 70, I want to explain one simple idea before the list, because it'll help everything make more sense. As we get older, our bodies become a little less efficient at turning the protein we eat into new muscle. It's called anabolic resistance. And again, don't worry about that term. All it means is that your body needs a little more help to do what it used to do automatically. So what helps? 2 things. First, the amount of a specific building block called leucine in the protein. Leucine is an amino acid. Think of amino acids as the tiny pieces that protein is made of. Leucine is the one that acts like a little signal to your muscles, saying, it's time to rebuild. After 70, you need more of that signal than you did when you were younger. Second, how easily your body can digest and absorb the protein. Older digestive systems sometimes work a little slower. So proteins that are easy to break down and absorb quickly are especially helpful. Eggs are wonderful food. I eat them myself. They have good leucine content and they're easy to digest. But there are 8 other proteins that match or beat eggs on both of those things. And some of them are more practical, more affordable, and easier to fit into your daily meals. Let's go through them one by one. Number 1, Greek yogurt. I want to start here because this one might already be in your refrigerator, and you might not realize what a powerhouse it is. Greek yogurt, the plain, unflavored kind, is one of the most muscle-friendly foods you can eat. A single cup of Greek yogurt has somewhere around 17 to 20 grams of protein. That's more than 2 large eggs. But here's what makes it especially good for us. Greek yogurt contains something called whey protein and casein protein together. Whey is fast absorbing. Your muscles get it quickly. Casein is slow. It releases gradually, like a slow drip. That combination means your muscles are getting fed over a longer stretch of time. And the leucine content? Excellent. right up there with the best. There's also another benefit that I think is wonderful for people our age. The good bacteria in Greek yogurt, the probiotics, help keep your gut healthy. And a healthy gut absorbs nutrients better. So you're not just getting good protein, you're helping your body use it. Now let me be practical with you. Plain Greek yogurt can taste a little sour if you're not used to it. Here's what I do. I add a small spoonful of honey and a handful of blueberries. Or I mix it with a little bit of cinnamon and a banana. You can also use it instead of sour cream on potatoes or tacos. It works beautifully and you barely notice the difference. The small win here. Just swap one of your regular snacks for a cup of Greek yogurt this week. That's it. One swap. You'll be surprised how full it keeps you. Coming up next is a protein that most people think of as a diet food, but it has one of the highest leucine counts of anything on this list. Number 2, cottage cheese. Now, I know some of you just made a face. Cottage cheese has a reputation, not always a glamorous one, but I'm going to ask you to give it another chance because cottage cheese is extraordinary for people over 70. A half cup of cottage cheese gives you around 12 to 10 grams of protein. And like Greek yogurt, it contains that slow digesting casein protein. In fact, cottage cheese is one of the richest natural sources of casein you can find. Why does that matter? Because muscle building doesn't just happen right after you eat. It continues for hours. Slow-releasing protein means your muscles keep getting what they need throughout the day, and even overnight if you have a small serving before bed. That's actually something I do myself. I'll have a small bowl of cottage cheese in the evening, nothing fancy. Sometimes I add a few slices of a cucumber or a little bit of fruit, and I sleep, knowing my body is quietly doing its work. Cottage cheese is also soft and easy to eat. If you've had any dental work, or if chewing is sometimes uncomfortable, that matters. You can eat it plain, mix it into scrambled eggs to make them creamier, blend it into a smoothie, you won't even taste it, or spread it on a piece of whole grain toast. One thing to look out for, cottage cheese can be high in sodium. If your doctor has told you to watch your salt, look for the low sodium version. It's easy to find. Let's pause for a moment. I want to ask you something directly. How much protein do you actually eat in a day? Not to judge, just to think about. Most people over 70 aren't getting enough. We tend to eat smaller meals. Our appetite goes down as we age. And protein foods, meat, fish, dairy, can feel like a lot of effort to prepare. But here's what the research says. Older adults generally need more protein per pound of body weight than younger adults. Somewhere around half a gram to 3/4 of a gram per pound of body weight per day is a reasonable target for most people. So if you weigh 150 pounds, that's roughly 75 to 110 grams of protein a day. That might sound like a lot. But spread across 3 meals and a snack or 2, it's very manageable, especially once you know which foods to reach for. As always, please check with your doctor before making big changes to your diet, especially if you have kidney issues, diabetes, or any other health condition. Protein is wonderful, but your doctor knows your body and your individual needs. This video is information, not medical advice. You and your doctor make the decisions together. Okay, back to our list. Number 3, canned tuna affordable, ready in seconds. No cooking required. Canned tuna is one of the great underrated muscle-building foods for people our age. A single can, about 3 ounces of drained tuna, gives you roughly 20 to 25 grams of protein. That's more than 3 eggs. And it's pure, high-quality protein with very little fat and almost no carbohydrates. Tuna is also rich in something called omega-3 fatty acids. Now, omega-3s are good for your heart and your brain. Most people know that. But here's something you might not know. Omega-3s also help reduce the inflammation that works against muscle building. Some researchers believe omega-3s actually improve how efficiently your muscles respond to protein. That's a real bonus. The leucine content in tuna, very high. Now, a word of caution. Canned tuna, especially albacore, does contain some mercury. Most health guidelines suggest that eating tuna 2 to 3 times a week is safe for most adults. Light tuna, skipjack, generally has lower mercury levels than albacore. If you're worried or have health concerns, ask your doctor. That's always the right call. So how do you eat it? I keep it simple. A can of tuna, a squeeze of lemon, a little bit of olive oil, some black pepper, on top of a bed of greens. Done in 3 minutes. I've had that lunch probably 1,000 times, and I still enjoy it. You can also mix tuna into pasta, make a simple tuna salad with Greek yogurt instead of mayo, or put it on a whole grain cracker for a snack. Number 4, salmon. Now we're moving up the protein chain, in more ways than one. Salmon is, in my opinion, one of the best foods you can eat at any age. And after 70, it's especially powerful. A 3-ounce serving of cooked salmon has around 22 grams of high-quality protein. It has even more omega-3 fatty acids than tuna, and it has excellent leucine content. But what really sets salmon apart for people our age is the vitamin D. Here's something important. Many older adults are low in vitamin D, and most of us don't even know it. And vitamin D plays a direct role in muscle function. Without enough of it, your muscles simply don't work as well as they should, even if you're eating plenty of protein. Some research suggests that vitamin D deficiency is one of the reasons older adults lose muscle faster. Salmon is one of the few foods that contains meaningful amounts of vitamin D naturally. So when you eat salmon, you're getting the protein your muscles need to rebuild, the omega-3s to reduce inflammation, and the vitamin D to help everything function the way it should. That's a triple benefit in one meal. Canned salmon works just as well as fresh and costs much less. Look for it right next to the canned tuna at the grocery store. You can use it exactly the same way. If you can eat salmon twice a week, that is genuinely one of the best things you can do for your muscle health. Grilled, baked, poached, out of a can, it all counts. A quick story. When I was about 83, I noticed that getting up from my low armchair was getting harder. I had to kind of rock forward a few times before I could push myself up. My daughter noticed it too and gently mentioned it to me. I wasn't happy about it, I'll tell you that. I'm stubborn. I don't like giving things up. So I started paying more attention to what I was eating. I added more protein, salmon, Greek yogurt, some of the foods on this list. And I started doing some very gentle chair exercises. Nothing dramatic. Just sitting down and standing up a few times. Leg lifts while seated. That sort of thing. Within a few months, I noticed a difference. Getting out of that chair was easier. My legs felt steadier on the stairs. I'm not telling you this to brag. I'm telling you because I want you to know that the effort is worth it. Small changes done consistently add up to something real. You can do this too. Number 5, edamame. Now here's one that surprises people. And I love including it on this list because it's wonderful for anyone who doesn't eat a lot of meat or dairy. Edamame, those are young soybeans, the ones you sometimes get at Japanese restaurants in the pot, is one of the most complete plant-based proteins available. A cup of cooked edamame has about 8 grams of protein. And unlike most plant proteins, soy protein contains all the essential amino acids your body needs. That includes a good amount of leucine. Now, I know there has been a lot of back and forth over the years about soy. Is it good? Is it not? Should older adults eat it? Here's what the current research says. For most people, eating whole soy foods like edamame, tofu, and tempeh in normal amounts is safe and beneficial. If you have specific concerns. If you've had hormone-sensitive cancer, for example, that's a conversation to have with your doctor. But for the general population of healthy older adults, soy protein is a genuine muscle-building ally. You can buy frozen edamame shelled and ready to eat. Heat it up in a few minutes, add a little sea salt, and you have a protein-packed snack. Toss it into salads, stir-fries, soups, grain bowls. It's versatile and gentle on the stomach. This is also a great option if meat or fish doesn't appeal to you on certain days. Your body doesn't care where the protein comes from, as long as it gets what it needs. All right, we're just past the halfway point, and I want to take a moment to say something. If you've been watching along and taking mental notes, you're already doing more for your health than most people your age. That's real. Give yourself credit for that. If this video is helping you think differently about what you eat and why muscle matters, would you do me a favor and hit that subscribe button? I put out videos every week with practical information for people who want to stay independent and feel good as they get older. I don't want you to miss anything. And I'd love to know, which of these proteins are you going to try first? Leave me a comment below. I read every single one, and I write back when I can. It means the world to me to hear from you. Okay, back to our list. 3 more to go. And number 7 is the one most people have completely overlooked. Number 6, tofu. I want to dedicate a little extra time to tofu because I know it has a reputation as health food that not everyone is drawn to. But please hear me out because tofu is remarkable. Tofu is made from soybeans, same as edamame, and it comes in different textures: silken, soft, firm, and extra firm. Half a cup of firm tofu has around 10 grams of protein. Silken tofu has a bit less, but is incredibly easy to eat. Here's what I love most about tofu for people our age. It takes on whatever flavor you cook it with. It has almost no taste of its own. So if you marinate it in a little soy sauce, garlic and ginger, and then pan fry it until it's golden, it tastes nothing like health food. It tastes delicious. You can crumble firm tofu into scrambled eggs to add protein without changing the taste much at all. You can blend silken tofu into smoothies, soups, or even puddings. You can bake it, stir-fry it, cube it into miso soup. Tofu is also very soft and easy to chew. It's gentle on digestion, and it's affordable, usually just $1 or $2 for a block that gives you several servings. For anyone who is trying to reduce how much red meat or processed meat they eat, and there are good reasons to do that as we get older, tofu and edamame together can go a long way toward keeping your protein up. Number 7, whey protein powder. Now I want to talk about this one carefully, because supplements are not for everyone, and I'm not in the business of telling you to take something without thinking it through, but I do want to be honest with you. Whey protein powder is, scientifically speaking, one of the most effective protein sources for muscle building in older adults. Multiple studies have looked at this specifically in people over 65 and 70, and the results are consistently positive. Here's why. Whey protein is absorbed very quickly by the body, faster than almost any other protein source, and it has a very high leucine content, so it sends that rebuild signal to your muscles quickly and strongly. For older adults who have that anabolic resistance I mentioned earlier, that reduced ability to turn protein into muscle, whey protein seems to help overcome it. A single scoop of a good whey protein powder typically has 20 to 25 grams of protein with very little else. Now, practical considerations. Whey protein comes from milk, so if you are lactose intolerant, look for whey protein isolate, which has most of the lactose removed and is easier to digest. Or there are plant-based protein powders. Pea protein and soy protein blends are the best options. If you prefer to avoid dairy entirely, how do you use it? I mix a scoop into milk or a milk alternative and drink it within about an hour after any exercise, even a short walk or some chair exercises. That window right after activity is when your muscles are most ready to absorb protein. Please talk to your doctor or a registered dietitian before starting any supplement. Some protein powders contain things that might interact with medications or aren't suitable for people with certain kidney conditions. A quick conversation can clear all of that up. But I didn't want to leave it off this list because honestly, For many older adults who struggle to eat enough protein from food alone, this is a practical, evidence-backed solution. Number 8, chicken breast. I saved this one for last because I want to say something a little different about it. Chicken breast is not a surprise. You know it's high in protein. A 3-ounce serving has around 26 grams, one of the highest of any food on this list. It has excellent leucine content. It's easy to find, relatively affordable, easy to cook in many different ways. But here's the thing I want to highlight. A lot of people over 70 have started eating less chicken because cooking feels like too much effort, or because appetite has gone down and a big chicken breast feels like too much food, or because they live alone and it doesn't feel worth cooking a whole meal just for themselves. I understand that. I've felt that way myself some evenings. So I want to offer some practical solutions. First, you can buy rotisserie chicken already cooked. Just pull the meat off and you have protein ready in seconds. Second, you can cook a larger batch on one day and portion it into the refrigerator for several days of easy meals. Third, a smaller serving, even 2 ounces, is still giving your muscles something to work with. You don't have to eat a large portion to get a benefit. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is consistency. Even a little protein, eaten regularly throughout the day, keeps your muscles nourished and working for you. And with chicken, grilled, baked, poached, shredded into soup, sliced onto a salad, the options are practically endless. Let's put it all together. We've covered a lot today. Let me bring it all back so you leave here with a clear picture. Your muscles can still grow and rebuild after 70, but they need the right fuel, and they need it consistently throughout the day. The 8 proteins we talked about that are especially effective after 70 are Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, canned tuna, salmon, edamame, tofu, whey protein powder, and chicken breast. Each one has high quality, easily absorbed protein with good amounts of leucine, the amino acid that signals your muscles to rebuild. Some of them, salmon and tuna, bring extra bonuses like omega-3s and vitamin D that directly support muscle function. The biggest mistake to avoid: don't pile all your protein into one meal. Spread it out. Aim for 25 to 35 grams at each meal and add a small protein snack when you can. And remember, protein works best when it's paired with movement. That doesn't mean going to a gym. It means gentle chair exercises, a short walk, standing up and sitting down a few times. Whatever is safe and right for your body. Movement and the protein work together. They're a team. Always check with your doctor before making changes, especially if you have kidney disease, diabetes, or any other health condition that affects how your body handles protein. Your doctor is your partner in all of this. One last thing before we go. I want to say this directly to you because I mean it. Staying independent as you get older is not about doing everything perfectly. It's not about following some strict plan or eating foods you don't enjoy. It's about making small, consistent choices that add up over time. Every time you choose Greek yogurt over a plain cracker, you're doing something for your future self. Every time you open a can of tuna instead of skipping lunch, you're doing something for your future self. Every time you get up from your chair one extra time today, you're doing something for your future self. That future self is going to thank you. I started paying closer attention to all of this in my 80s. And I'm still here, still living on my own terms at 91. Not because I did anything dramatic, because I kept showing up for myself, day after day, in small ways. You can do the same. I believe that completely. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. It truly means everything to me that you're here. If you found this helpful, please share it with someone you care about, a friend, a sister, a neighbor who might need to hear it. And hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet, so you don't miss what's coming next.